From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It's Thursday, December 3rd, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
They're telling you this is bad. This is something that you really need to take seriously.
Hospitals here in central Indiana having to send people away. The dire warning as hospitalizations rise and healthcare workers are pushed to the brink. State health officials say they are bracing for a surge of COVID-19 cases. What Governor Holcomb is saying about the possibility of more restrictions. And the Indianapolis International Airport working hard to keep you safe. The high honor they are receiving as they work to welcome passengers safely.
And we are taking off on this Thursday here in central Indiana. Welcome to Good Morning Indiana. It is going to be a great Thursday in Indianapolis and all the surrounding counties. Good morning to my good friends, Nicole and Kyle. It's good to see you here this morning.
Raphael, I love the positivity. It's good to see you as always. And Kyle, I mean, you don't have the best news today, but it is December in Indiana. Pretty chilly outside. We're used to it by now, right?
You know, Todd earlier in the week had to talk about the snow and stuff, so it's a little better than that.
It's good.
Yeah, we got the snow out of here. But yeah, it's a little cold out there this morning for sure as we're checking out this beautiful shot of downtown Indianapolis. You got 24 degrees on the thermometer. Feels a little bit colder though. Prepare for some wind chills in the teens this morning. The wind is very light, but enough that it kind of adds to the chill that we've got going on. 23 for you right now in Peru. It's 21 degrees in Lafayette and Bloomington. You've dropped to 22 this morning. As we look at the satellite and radar, we are continuing to kind of increase the clouds from the south and west, and that will be the trend throughout the day today. Still, I think we will see a good amount of sunshine. Our temperature 40 degrees at noon and afternoon highs in the middle 40s. Of course, Nicole is keeping an eye on that traffic this morning.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. As the live look outside right now at I-65 at the 38th Street West Junction, where you can see everything's moving up to speed at this hour. No accidents or delays to slow you down so far as you head out the door. We begin this morning with the latest data from the Indiana State Department of Health. Officials report more than 6,600 new cases of COVID-19. That is the highest one-day report since last Monday. Since March, 350,970 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. State health officials also report an additional 91 deaths. A total of 5,688 Hoosiers have now died with the coronavirus.
Each of these individuals has a name, a face, a family who loves them and is grieving. Many of them are Hoosiers over the age of 60, but no age group is immune, which is why we need everyone to help us turn things around.
This morning, state health officials bracing for the next 2 weeks as Thanksgiving celebrations are expected to lead to a spike in COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. And Nicole, this morning, 16 of our state's 92 counties are right now listed in the most dangerous red category on the state's weekly tracking map.
And all but one county is assigned the next riskiest orange rating. The state's 7-day rolling average of COVID deaths has reached 60 per day. That average was less than 10 a day in July. Hospitalizations have skyrocketed more than 350% since late September, when Governor Eric Holcomb lifted nearly all business and crowd restrictions. At Wednesday's briefing on the pandemic, Governor Holcomb was asked if more should have been done to try and prevent the current situation.
We typically don't look back. I've said before that, I mean, if that's the direction you want to go is backwards, then look that way. But we're looking forward each and every day and trying to do more where it works. And this isn't there is no, magic wand where you can just say, we'll do this and it'll go away. No state in the country, and there have been a lot of different approaches to this. And so we look at what's working in different places, and what I just subscribe to is this has a lot to do with we, the people, as individuals, caring for others and taking steps and recognizing that any short-term sacrifice or inconvenience is tenfold worth it for the long-term gain.
Governor Holcomb says he has spoken with different elected officials, business leaders, hospital leaders, and other stakeholders across the state. He says a common theme in those discussions was avoiding a blanket policy when it comes to fighting COVID.
So let's continue to focus on your health this morning, because COVID-19 is forcing some hospitals to send patients to other medical facilities right here in central Indiana. The problem is not a lack of space, it's really a lack of staff. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with how healthcare leaders are coping with this critical situation. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So Community Health is just one of several hospitals across the state that has had to divert patients this week because of that lack of staff that you just mentioned. It's not a lack of space, it's that lack of staff. So it's something healthcare leaders never want to do and something they rarely have to. But an increase in patients and more employees in quarantine due to COVID-19 has prompted hospitals like Johnson Memorial, Franciscan, and Community Health to at times divert emergency patients. Leaders at all three say the demand for beds and the number of available workers can change hourly. Johnson Memorial Health has been trying to hire additional staff members for months, and until they find people to fill those roles, current employees are having to do more and pick up extra shifts.
It's scary to think that you don't have enough staff, and you call, you try to incentivize, but again, people can only work so much, and there's only so many people out there with the potential to work.
Now, he says things are so bad right now because people are making conscious decisions to ignore what healthcare professionals are saying. And he's urging people to take this virus seriously. He says we need to keep wearing that mask, keep social distancing, and again, just avoid those large gatherings. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
A COVID testing location in Indianapolis is now moving indoors, and appointments are still required. Beginning today, the Marion County Health Department is moving its South Side drive-through testing COVID-19 site to the Marion County Fairgrounds. Every Thursday and every Tuesday, the site at 7300 Troy Avenue will welcome people through gate number 4 from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. The health department plans to move all of its drive-through testing sites indoors or to a covered location to protect its workers and protect people from cold weather conditions.
New this morning, Eli Lilly's COVID antibody treatment will soon be distributed by CVS stores. Under the pilot, Quorum, the specialty pharmacy and infusion care business of CVS Health, will administer Lilly's intravenous antibody treatment in patients' homes or long-term care facilities. Quorum will begin administering 1,000 doses in 7 cities and their surrounding communities starting today. Those include Boston, Chicago, Cleveland, Los Angeles, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, and Tampa. Initial supply of Lilly's drug will go to patients at risk of severe infections, but who are not hospitalized, and there will be no out-of-pocket cost.
In less than 5 hours, a drive-through hog roast is seeking to support hundreds of families this month right here in Johnson County. The Jim Rhodes Memorial event is happening today at the Johnson County Fairgrounds. Each person who drives up between 11 through 1:30 this afternoon will support the Interchurch Food Pantry and the Good Cheer Fund. That fund will provide food baskets to 800 people for Christmas here in Johnson County. Donations collected at the drive-thru will be split between the two groups at a time when demand for help is way up.
If we're not giving back to our community to make other lives better or lift others up, what are we really doing? So it's the fact that we're proud of where we are, where we live. We're, thankful for all that this community has given us. So we feel like it's our obligation to give back. And
organizers of the hog roast are prepared to handle a lunch crowd of 600 people. So Nicole and Kyle, lunch is on me. I'll get it to you some way, somehow. We'll get it to you DoorDash or something, but I'll pay for lunch today.
All right, sounds good. We will hold you to that, Raphael. Thank you so much. Well, a new online platform that connects patients of color to specialized medical care is seeing a boom in business. Coming up, what's behind the growing numbers?
The Colts punter Rigoberto Sanchez recovering after having a cancerous tumor removed. Coach Frank Reich tells us how Sanchez is doing this morning. But first, let's check your forecast with our Kyle Mounts. Good morning, Kyle.
And good morning to you here. 6:10 on your Thursday, and we've got temperatures today that will make their way into the lower and middle 40s for an afternoon high. A mix of sun and clouds out there. As we look at the drought monitor, most of central Indiana in good shape. Still some moderate drought to the northwest. I'll let you know when the next chance for some wet weather will arrive. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on WRTV.
Good morning to Avon, Mooresville, and Pendleton. Today, the UN General Assembly holding a special meeting to discuss the global response to COVID-19. Nearly 100 world leaders and dozens of ministers will speak virtually about the best path to recovery. The two-day session will just be meant for talking. There will be no fundraising for vaccines or plans for any political action. President Trump will not be taking part in the discussions. The U.S. will be instead represented by Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar.
As we get closer to a COVID vaccine, one concern is whether people will be willing to take a new and unproven shot. Now, 3 former commanders-in-chief are stepping up to prove it will be safe. Former Presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and Bill Clinton have all agreed to get the vaccine on camera once one is approved. The idea for the awareness campaign reportedly started when Bush reached out to coronavirus task force members Dr. Anthony Fauci and Deborah Birx to see how he could help, offering to film himself getting vaccinated. And then on Wednesday, Clinton's press secretary said he'd also be willing to get the shot on camera. And in an interview with SiriusXM set to air today, Obama said he would also get vaccinated on camera to let people know they can trust the science.
An online platform connecting patients of color with doctors has seen record growth during this pandemic. The goal of HUE is to help Black and Latinx patients get what they call culturally competent care. That means physicians who understand racial differences. Kimberly Wilson, the founder and CEO of HUE, she attributes the spike in growth to the reckoning over racial disparities brought on by the Black Lives Matter movement and the disproportionate impact of COVID on communities of color.
There are a lot of psychological barriers that exist within the healthcare system, which lead to fear, distrust, comfortability, and lack of access to quality care for those reasons. And it's because it's systemic.
So here's some history on this situation. See, Wilson's own experience of being diagnosed with uterine fibroids launched the idea for the startup. She saw 4 different white male doctors, and Wilson says all of them either dismissed her pain or told her that she needed a hysterectomy. It wasn't until Wilson saw a Black provider that she felt heard and learned of other options. Now, patients can sign up and get access to HUE's database of the doctors on their website. Providers interested in being listed have to go through a clear vetting process.
There are new rules for anyone flying with an emotional support animal. The U.S. Department of Transportation says airlines are not required to recognize them as service animals and may treat them as pets. Also, according to the new rule, only dogs will be allowed as service animals. Airlines had asked the DOT to regulate the issue. They were concerned passengers were falsely passing off their pets as the more loosely and fee-free category of emotional support animals. The rule goes into effect 30 days after it's published in the Federal Register. A publication date has not yet been set.
Elon Musk, he's really known for his lofty goals, and now he has another one. Why not? The SpaceX CEO says he'll put people on Mars by the year 2026. The billionaire says every 26 months, Earth and Mars orbits around the sun sync, or it could be even sooner. Musk has been open about his plans for the Red Planet in the past, saying that he hopes to create a self-sustaining city on the Red Planet. Now, to make his dreams a reality, SpaceX is developing a special rocket that can launch cargo and as many as 100 people at a time to the moon and Mars. And Kyle, I'll be honest, I will sign up for that because 2 things. I love a good selfie, and plus I think my wife wants me to get out of the living room. So either or.
That would be getting way out of that living room, wouldn't it? Wow. All right. Well, we will keep tabs on that, and we'll let you know when those tickets go on sale, too. 24 degrees for us right now in Indianapolis and Kokomo, right at the freezing mark in Bloomington, and 28 degrees in Shelbyville. Winds fairly light this morning. They're under 10 miles per hour, but when we already have those temperatures in the 20s, it doesn't take long for those to feel a little bit colder. We've got a wind chill of 18 in Indianapolis. That's actually the coldest feels like number right now. You got 21 in Lafayette and Bloomington. It feels like 22 degrees. As we check out TrueCast today, here's the biggest weather change for us. A few more clouds that will be moving in from the southwest. You're already going to notice that when we get to sunrise this morning. A little more sunshine for you around Logansport, Peru, Monticello, and even Lafayette through the afternoon. Then mostly cloudy to partly sunny skies around Bloomington and Greensburg. Still, I think we will work in some sunshine, so it's not going to be an overcast day, but a little more cloud cover than we've had. Temperature-wise, still not going to be doing too bad here. We'll get through the 30s and back to around 40 degrees for the lunchtime and into the middle 40s for an afternoon high. Average high is 44, so really right on the money for where we should be here in early December. 45, the high in Indy. Call for a high of 46 in Bloomington and 44 in the Lafayette area later today. TrueCast then on Friday shows more cloud cover is going to be here, and we get brushed by a weather system off to the south. So the bulk of any wet weather going to be south of the Ohio River. Can't rule out that we see a sprinkle around Seymour, North Vernon, maybe into Batesville as we go throughout the day on Friday. But the majority of us are not going to see any wet weather, and we actually start to see a little bit of clearing as we head late in the day on Friday. Temperature-wise, we're still in the middle 40s here on Friday afternoon. Then as we get into the upcoming weekend, it does turn a little bit cooler. Highs only around 40 degrees on Saturday. We'll be in the upper 30s to around 40 here as we get into Sunday. And again, we'll keep those partly sunny skies. 7-day planning forecast as we put it all together for you, and we've got those high temperatures looking pretty good here the next couple of days. By December standards, we're at 45 today, 46 tomorrow, with lows around 30 degrees. And then the weekend, a little bit cooler. That will linger into early next week with a high of 39 on Monday, partly sunny before temperatures rebound a little bit. We've got highs in the mid 40s by about this time next week. You notice what's missing in that 7-day planning forecast, any precipitation, so we're not going to be dealing with any rain or snow here coming our way anytime soon. Nicole, how are things out there on the roads?
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. Well, we do have one small issue right now at this hour. This is I-465 at I-74 on the southeast side. We do know the off-ramp from northbound 465 to eastbound 74 is partially blocked. SIG Alert says a semi-fire was reported, but the fire is now out, so just be aware of that if that's part of your morning commute. The Pacers are getting training camp underway. Practices are being adjusted for now to just 4 players at a time at the team's St. Vincent Center. We got a look at Domantas Sabonis and Victor Oladipo working out on Tuesday. The Pacers have a new head coach as well, Nate Bjorkgren. Oladipo says he looks forward to being healthy for the new season.
I don't know how to explain it, but when you feel better, you just naturally you just play better when you feel better. It's like when they say when you cut your hair, you know, you look good, you play good. Well, I feel stronger, I'm going to play better. You know what I'm saying? I feel better. Certain movements feel better. It's hard to just gauge and pinpoint one thing or one variable, but everything in general just feels better.
Well, the Pacers season, they will play 3 preseason games. The NBA regular season starts on December 22nd. Looking forward to that, Raphael.
We are looking forward to that indeed. The Colts are preparing to take on the Houston Texans on Sunday, while they're also thinking about the health of one of their teammates. The organization says that Colts punter Rigoberto Sanchez is doing well. Sanchez is recovering from surgery to remove a cancerous tumor. On Monday, he revealed the cancer diagnosis, which is why he was not kicking off against Tennessee. However, he still punted. That will not be the case this Sunday. But head coach Frank Reich says he's optimistic about Sanchez's eventual return.
I don't mind telling you. I mean, our prognosis is positive for Rigo. So, we're hopeful, and we're hopeful it's not months. We're hopeful. I don't know. I mean, this is out of my league, but the reports we're getting are very positive.
We hope for a quick recovery for Sanchez. In other Colts health news, running back Jonathan Taylor, he practiced on Wednesday after coming off the reserve COVID list. And quarterback Phillip Rivers did not practice on Wednesday. Reich says that decision was made as a precaution. Rivers is expected to play on Sunday. Go Colts.
Go Colts. Well, another streaming service is getting ready to launch, adding to the growing list of options for cord cutters. Consumer reporter John Matarese has what you need to know before signing up so you don't waste your money.
Nicole, let's head outside. Let's open the window just a little bit and then close it. A big good morning to our good friends in Bloomington, Kokomo, and Zionsville. All great places to call home. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday, right here on WRTV. Check what is trending at 6. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Nicole, so many interesting stories this half hour.
Yeah, Spotify has released its list of the most popular streamed music and podcasts of the year. Rapper Bad Bunny took the #1 spot with more than 8.3 billion streams. Never heard of that rapper. Drake, Latin star.
Listen. No, wait. He's good. He's on my iPod.
What?
Really good. I'm just letting you know. Yeah.
I have to check it out.
Check it out.
All right, well, Drake, Latin star J Balvin, the late rapper Juice WRLD, and The Weeknd round out the top 5. For the second year in a row, Billie Eilish was Spotify's most streamed female artist. Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande took the 2nd and 3rd spots. The most streamed song of the year was Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. That's a good song. For podcasts, the Joe Rogan Experience was the most popular globally, and Michelle Obama's podcast series, which just started in July, made the top 5.
Nicole, you love Drake, and Bad Bunny is not a Drake, but the music I think you'd enjoy. So check it out. It's really just good morning. It'll wake you up in the morning. Bad Bunny, everybody.
All right.
I'm just saying. So, hey, People Magazine, right, unveiled its list of the People of the Year, and among those receiving the honor, of course, Dr. Anthony Fauci. People say that, of course, they chose him for providing guidance and reassurance during the pandemic. Also on the list, George Clooney, Selena Gomez, and Regina King. Clooney is being recognized for his advocacy work, Gomez for her work to improve access to mental health, and Regina King for using her voice to support marginalized communities and encouraging people to vote. And to think, 1 month ago today, we were all voting. Election day. It felt like, that feels like it was 3 years ago.
It really does. Well, a New York woman is proving that she is a survivor. Take a look at this story here. At 102, Angelina Friedman lived through the 1918 Spanish flu, has survived cancer, internal bleeding, and sepsis, and now she has beaten COVID twice. Friedman's first diagnosis was back in March after she was in the hospital for a minor medical procedure. Then in late October, she tested positive again. While she's lost most of her hearing and her vision is poor, Friedman's daughter says her mom is still celebrating life, and she got a big party for her 101st birthday last year and was crowned prom queen. She is a fighter. Good to see.
She is, and happy birthday for sure. All right, well, our temperatures as we go through the next several days, they're going to be kind of bouncing around a little bit, but the overall outlook for the month of December is for above average temperatures. Doesn't mean a heat wave, but hey, not bad when you consider we continue to get colder on average. Average highs only in the middle 30s as we get ready to ring in the new year. As far as precipitation, calling for below average there, average about 6.9 inches of snow. And yeah, it's a little bit early, but what are our chances of a white Christmas looking like? We'll put it at about 30%. Typical year, we see about a 26% chance of a white Christmas. So as we get a little bit closer to that, we'll have a better idea, and maybe we can nose that needle a little closer to 100. Nicole?
All right, Kyle, thank you. A new streaming service is about to launch, adding to the list of companies to choose from. Consumer reporter John Matarese has everything you need to know about Discovery Plus so you don't waste your money.
Just in case you haven't decided between Disney Plus, Apple TV, Peacock, and all those other new streaming services, another new streamer is about to launch. Are you a House Hunters addict, or do you prefer Chip and Joanna? Christina on the Coast or Rachel Ray? Your favorite HGTV and Food Network shows are going to have their own streaming service starting January 4th. It's called Discovery Plus and will also feature shows from Discovery Network and TLC. Cost $5 a month with commercials or $7 a month commercial free, the better bargain. But you may be able to get it free. Just like with Disney Plus, if you're a Verizon Wireless customer, you may qualify for your first year free. Over 50,000 episodes will be available, so you can truly watch Property Brothers 24 hours a day. Only problem, all these streaming services combined can cost as much as your old cable package. So always don't waste your money. I'm John Matteries. Good morning, Indiana.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday morning, this is your 6:30 news feed. A Charlestown police officer has died from complications surrounding the coronavirus. Detective Tajon Johnson was a 13-year veteran of the department. Services for Detective Johnson have not yet been announced.
Officials in Gary are set to unveil Indiana's latest safe haven baby box later this week. The box is at Gary Fire Station number 5. The boxes are named after Indiana's safe haven law. It allows a person to give up an infant anonymously without fear of arrest or prosecution. The box in Gary will be the 48th in Indiana.
The Indiana Hoosiers will head into the Big Ten ACC Challenge on a winning note. Go Hoosiers. The Hoosiers beat Stanford 79-63 in the Maui Invitational. The tournament is being played in Asheville, North Carolina because of the pandemic. Former Center Grove star Trace Jackson Davis, he scored a career-high 31 points. IU's next game is next Wednesday against Florida State on the road. Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday, December the 3rd, and my fellow teammates are giving me a hard time because I am jamming on my iPod. And hey, listen, I'd rather have an iPod than a Walkman. So it is what it is.
Hey.
Good morning to you both.
Yeah, good morning to you. We love you. We love it.
We know what to get you for Christmas.
Right, exactly. And, you know, all those people who may be doing some Christmas shopping here today or the rest of the week, Kyle, they got to bundle up if they're heading outside.
Yes.
Yeah, gonna need that winter coat out there, but you're not gonna have to fight any rain or snow showers. So there's some good news. We got temperatures this morning coming in the lower to middle 20s. It's 24 downtown. We got 21 in Lafayette and 22 in the Bloomington area. Winds are fairly light for us, and the good news is those temperatures, it's not by much, but they are a little warmer than this time yesterday morning by about 5 degrees or so in most locations. Looking back to the west, there's a winter storm warning out here across portions of Kansas and Oklahoma. Quite a bit of snow out there with the system that's not really moving, and you can see that precipitation. It should stay off to our south and west. We're not going to see any wet weather coming our way, just an increase in clouds today. Your temperature 40 degrees at noon, middle 40s for an afternoon high. Nicole, how are the roads?
All right, Kyle, let's take a live look outside right now. This is I-465 at I-74 there on the southeast side. There was a semi-fire here earlier, partially blocking the ramp from northbound 465 to eastbound 74, but that fire is now out and there are no backups or delays to report. Raphael.
Nicole, a state panel has taken formal disciplinary action against an Indianapolis plumber accused of taking customers' money but not doing the work. WRTV Investigates has been digging into Jonathan Kirby's business practices for more than a year. The Attorney General's office filed a formal complaint against Kirby, alleging 8 counts of fraud, deception, misconduct, and violations of Indiana law. The Indiana Plumbing Commission voted unanimously on Wednesday to find Kirby guilty on all 8 counts. Kirby's plumbing license was revoked. He was also ordered to pay $8,000 and to pay $2,800 in restitutions to customers. One commission member called this one of the worst cases he's ever seen.
I would think this was probably the most severe penalty I've seen at a commission meeting, and I've been on the commission a long time, but
Kirby did not appear at that hearing, but tells WRTV that he's working to pay people back. Now, he will not be able to get another plumbing license for 7 years.
The Indiana Department of Transportation is still hiring Hoosiers for this season as it starts to look and feel like winter. A job fair will be held from 9 to 3 today at the INDOT facility on Brookville Road. Applicants should be able to pass a drug screen and background check, and you also need a valid CDL and a current Department of Transportation physical if possible. For more information, just go to hiringhoosiers.com.
Indiana hospitals feeling the increase in COVID patients. Straight ahead on Good Morning Indiana, we're looking at the mental toll the surge in patients is having on healthcare workers. You're watching WRTV.
Welcome back. In a report from the White House Coronavirus Task Force, Indiana's situation with the virus is critical. The report was obtained by ABC News. The White House recommends anyone under the age of 40 who traveled outside of their home for Thanksgiving should assume they have been infected. Those 65 and older or individuals with underlying health conditions should not be in indoor places where people aren't wearing masks. They should also have things like groceries and prescriptions delivered when possible. The task force recommends the state issue more restrictions on things like indoor dining.
Several hospitals here in central Indiana are having to divert emergency patients at times as they reach capacity. Our Kelsey Anderson has been following the story throughout the morning. She joins us live right now with how hospital staffs are coping with this very serious situation. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So it's no secret that healthcare workers across the country and here in Indiana, they are working tirelessly to care for their patients, whether they be with COVID-19 or other symptoms. But healthcare leaders say their workers are stretched thin. It's something healthcare leaders never want to do and sometimes something they rarely have to. But this week, several hospitals had to divert emergency patients. Dr. David Dunkel is the president and CEO of Johnson Memorial, and he says twice recently the hospital hit capacity, but not in the way you might think.
I will never run out of beds. I will run out of staff, and we're really seeing that right now. Last night, we didn't go on diversion because of beds. We went on diversion because we didn't have the staff to take care of those patients.
So he says as of right now, they have more than 20 staff members out due to COVID-19. It's the highest number they've seen since March. And the shortage is not unique to Johnson Memorial, and it isn't new to the pandemic. Now, we did speak to the Emergency Nurses Association president-elect, and they tell us that some healthcare workers haven't had a day off in weeks, which is obviously causing severe burnout. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. As health officials express concerns for a post-Thanksgiving surge of COVID-19, Indiana leaders are making changes to their contact tracing system. On Wednesday, State Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Bach said the increased cases have put more pressure on contact tracers. Officials want to help streamline the process by only notifying people who tested positive for the virus. Now officials are instructing those infected to notify people who may have had close contact.
We will also emphasize the definition of a close contact and provide related quarantine guidance for those close contacts. The contact tracers will strongly encourage the positive individual to notify all of their close contacts. Remember, a close contact is a person who has been within 6 feet of you for 15 minutes or more throughout the course of a day. That includes a person who shares your household or a coworker if you are within that 6-foot space for 15 minutes or more. If you fall within that description, you're a close contact and will need to quarantine, even if you are wearing a mask.
Dr. Bach says the changes will speed up the process and will also ensure Hoosiers who have been exposed will take immediate steps to prevent further spread of the disease.
The pandemic is making Americans wary to hop on a plane and travel sometime. But now Indianapolis International is receiving a big honor on how it's handling the pandemic. But first, let's check out your forecast on this Thursday with our very own Kyle Mounts. Hey, Kyle.
And good morning to you, Raphael. We've got temperatures that are kind of locked into this chill right now with numbers running in the 20s. And as we look through the next few days of our forecast here, it actually gets a little bit cooler heading into the weekend. We'll talk about that weekend chill. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on WRTV.
With people being really careful about traveling, Indianapolis International Airport is being recognized for complying with new health measures and procedures.
Our airport is one of 8 nationwide to receive a health accreditation from the Airports Council International. Before Thanksgiving, I had a chance to speak to the airport's operations director. What does it mean for the traveling public?
Well, we want to instill confidence, Raphael, in the passengers and citizens, again, of Central Indiana, that when they come to the Indianapolis International Airport, it's going to be a safe environment and it's going to be a secure environment as they travel, be it the first leg of their travel or the last leg as they're returning home.
There are a lot of airports around the country. We're in the middle of a pandemic. This is something that you can tell the people that travel through. Look, we have this thing.
A lot of credit is due to the Airport Authority Board and our executive director on the policy and procedures that they've put in place.
What do you want the person coming in from New York City or Atlanta or Heathrow or Mexico City? What do you want them to know about this place as they land?
If you're an arriving passenger, you'll note that we have a lot of floor decals in place reminding passengers and employees to keep that 6-foot social distance between themselves and other people. If someone is driving into the airport, right when you come onto the airport campus, you'll see a very prominent electric sign that says facial masks are required. And at our guest services desk here in Civic Plaza, on a daily basis, we give out hundreds of free facial masks that we received here at the airport.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your insights, and best of luck to all of you there at Indianapolis International Airport.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
The other U.S. airports to receive this special health accreditation include Boston, Cincinnati, Evansville, JFK Terminal Number 4, San Diego, Sarasota, and Seattle, all receiving high marks for cleaning and disinfection, physical distancing, and passenger facilities. It is now time for your Thursday forecast, and Kyle, I hope that the temperatures take off just a little bit. I'll take something in the 40s today. You know, something small.
We can get you in the 40s, but you know that trip to Sarasota sounds pretty good right about now, doesn't it? Kind of escape the 20s that we've got out there this morning. It's 23 in Columbus, 21 for you in Lafayette, and we got 29 in the Muncie area. As far as temperatures today, we are going to get them back into the 40s, so Raphael will be happy. Hopefully you'll be happy with this forecast as well. We got 40 at noon, 44 as we go through the afternoon hours, and then we'll slide back into the 30s with that sunset later today. Not going to see as much sun as what we had yesterday because we are going to filter in some more clouds. Those are already starting to stream into the area, but no precipitation with those. And you also notice there's kind of a cutoff here, a little more sunshine for you around Monticello and Fowler and Logansport as we go through the afternoon. But even though we'll have those clouds around, still some breaks and a little bit of sunshine with a high of 43 today in Kokomo, Anderson, and Muncie. A little warmer for you around Petersburg and Lafayette at 47. The wind should be fairly light as well, so not too much of a wind chill as we go through the afternoon. A high of 47 in Rockville, 45 in Indy, and about 43 in Connorsville. And we'll find those numbers in the middle 40s for you. Not too far off the mark for this time of year. Actually a degree or two above average with a high of 47 in Columbus and around the Seymour area later today. On Friday, more partly sunny skies for us and more highs in the middle 40s. About 46 will be the temperature there, but we will take it because as we go into the upcoming weekend, we kind of get a reinforcing shot of some chilly air. So that's going to take those highs in the 40s and actually drop them, and it might be a struggle to hit 40 degrees for a high this weekend. But on Saturday, if you are going to be dropping off some toys, of course, we've got the collection day at many of the area Simon malls here for the WRTV toy drive. We'll have temperatures as we get things started at 10 a.m. at 33 degrees. Mix of sun and clouds, 36 at noon. And as we get into the afternoon, again, topping out around 40 there with partly sunny skies for us. And on Sunday, about the same. We'll have a high upper 30s to around 40 degrees. 7-day planning forecast as we put everything together for you. Those overnight lows going to be around 30 degrees the next couple of nights. We'll have highs in the middle 40s here as we round out the week, and then cooler for the weekend. That lingers into Monday. Then into the early and middle parts of next week, temperatures recovering a little bit. We get those highs back into the middle 40s and slightly above average by Wednesday, Nicole.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Let's head up to Boone County now. This is I-65 just south of State Road 32 near Lebanon, where you can see traffic moving up to speed at this hour. No accidents or delays so far to start off your Thursday.
On this Thursday, we're jumping into the WRTV archives and looking at a story that sent, Nicole, shockwaves around the world.
On December 8th, 1980, John Lennon was shot and killed outside of the New York City home he shared with his wife, Yoko Ono. Hoosiers were quick to react to Lennon's assassination and rushed to record stores. Former WRTV anchor and reporter Clyde Lee talked to Father and Son's Records on the West Side. The distributor had 150 copies of Lennon's work in stock the morning after his death. Within 30 minutes of opening, store employees say requests for more than 20,000 records had flooded their phone lines. Store owners said the surge in record sales shows the impact Lennon had on Hoosiers.
Assume it has an impact on people's lives, and they decide that some way to express their problem is, or their feelings about this, is to go out and buy the records. It's questionable about the decision being made. You know, I mean, the record was there yesterday, and people were buying it just as a regular record. Now, after the tragedy, all of a sudden it becomes a much more marketable entity. It's very similar to the Elvis Presley situation that happened a few years ago.
John Lennon performed with the Beatles at the Indiana State Fairgrounds in 1964. The band performed 2 sold-out shows. Ticket prices ranged between $3 and $5, and with resellers demanding up to $35 per ticket.
By the way, I spoke to Clyde Lee the other day, Nicole, and he's doing well. We thank him for doing that story so many years ago. Eli Lilly's antibody treatment for COVID patients will soon be available in CVS stores. Coming up, what you need to know about this new pilot program. That and the rest of your top stories coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana.
It's 6:53. We'll get a look at today's forecast with meteorologist Kyle Mounts in just a few moments.
But first, Nicole, a look at the top stories, including some exciting news from Eli Lilly. The Indianapolis-based company's antibody treatment will soon be distributed by CVS. Under the pilot quorum, the specialty pharmacy and infusion care business of CVS Health will administer Lilly's intravenous antibody COVID treatment in patients' homes or long-term care facilities. The initial supply of Lilly's drug will go to patients at risk of severe infections who are not hospitalized.
Hamilton Southeastern students will remain online until at least January 15th. The superintendent says the change is due to steady coronavirus numbers in Fishers. The school board plans to revisit the decision before January 13th. The board also approved paying support staff while students are learning virtually.
An annual holiday performance will look much different this year due to the pandemic. Starting next week, the Indianapolis Ballet will perform Nutcracker Suites. It's a condensed version of the Nutcracker. Earlier this week, the city announced dozens of grants for performing arts organizations. The Indianapolis Ballet received more than $15,000. The money is from the Federal CARES Act, and for more information on the Nutcracker show, visit indieballet.org. I have my tickets, and I remind all of us to support the arts and to, of course, shop local. So keep that in mind. And Nicole, unlike previous years, this is the first time in 10 years that I don't get to perform with the Indianapolis Ballet, the Nutcracker, because they had to cut down the number of cast members because of COVID-19. So I'll have to practice until next year.
Hey, I got the photo you sent of your stretching. Beautiful.
Yes, we have to stretch in the ballet.
I love it. So what was your role in the show?
So I'm in the party scene usually, which is the first 45 minutes. No tutu involved, just a lot of fun, a lot of tradition, and we hope again that you support the Indianapolis Ballet and all the other performing companies this holiday season, because they are struggling and they need our love and our support. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, good advice, Raphael. And now for your forecast. Kyle, did you ever do the Nutcracker?
I did not.
I did when I was little.
But I hear Raphael just didn't make the cut. So he was there, he was close. Maybe.
Next
I
year.
can show you the dances.
Next year.
I can show you the dances.
All right. We'll hold you to that. All right. Temperatures this morning, maybe do a little dance to keep yourself warm. We got 24 in Indy and Kokomo. It's 27 degrees in Shelbyville, while you're at around 30 in Muncie and the Bloomington area. Winds not too much of a factor for us this morning, under 10 miles per hour, but we do have a little bit of a wind chill. At this point, in most areas, it feels like the 20s, the exception Columbus, though. You've got a wind chill of 18. TrueCast shows an increase in cloud cover as we go through the day. We'll call it partly sunny skies, as we're just getting the cloud influence from a weather system off to the south and west, but we will remain dry with those temperatures that make their way to around 40 at noon. And this afternoon, we'll get into the middle 40s, so looking pretty good there, around 45 in the city. Temperatures about the same pretty much everywhere you look, 43 in Muncie and 47 in the Columbus area later today. Now on Friday, we're going to hold on to the clouds. Weather system gets a little bit closer, maybe a sprinkle around Seymour, North Vernon, Greensburg. I think that's about it. We are pretty much talking about a dry forecast right through the weekend and into much of next week. TrueCast shows maybe a little bit of clearing here as we go into our Friday evening. Friday's high going to be in the middle 40s. That 7-day forecast shows a little cooler for the weekend, though. Highs are going to be right around 40 degrees there, and it does start to warm up as we get toward the middle of next week. All in all, though, we're going to keep it dry with partly sunny skies through Wednesday.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. Well, we are back in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America with more news, weather, and traffic updates. All of your news can be found on the WRTV app. Hope you have a great day.